What's up, guys? Back with another video in the Learn Linux series, and today's one's going to be a short one. It's on a simple tool, but very useful tool called Find, which we use, you guessed it, to find files. Sometimes you know the name of a file, or maybe you know the pattern of what a file is supposed to match, and you don't know where it is, so you use Find. You can open up the man page here, as usual, and there are endless options, as is with most of these tools, to help you narrow down your search. Some very simple ones here that we're going to use. Start here near the top. Let's see. We've got this max def option. You can use this to limit the amount of folders you want to search. So maybe you have a nesting of 10 directories. You only want to search through the first 2 directories and not the rest of the other 8. So you would limit the number of directories to that number. Some other useful options here are options related to time. You can search for files that are newer or older than a certain date. You can search for files that are empty. You can search by file type. You can search by who owns it. You can search by the name and use a pattern matching similar to what we did with grep. There's a lot of options here that we can use. So some very simple ones here. Obviously, we have our file from our last exercise called pies. So let's just search for that. So I'm in my home directory here, /root, and I don't remember where I put the file. So I'm just going to search here, this directory, for the name. I don't remember if I capitalized it or if I didn't capitalize it, so I'm going to use iname, which means in sensitive case. Don't worry about uppercase or lowercase. And I'm just going to say pie. And I don't remember what the file extension was. I'm just going to use a wildcard or an asterisk, means it's anything goes after that. But I do remember that it's a .txt file. So I'm going to use pi star, and then it's .txt. So it's pi something in .txt. Of course, I have to close my quotation mark. And here we have 3 results. So obviously our files are within the files directory. And then it looks like there's some other pi files under the files/stuff directory. pi2.txt and pi3.txt. Interesting. Okay, so let me look for the files that are pi related that are empty. So pi2 and pi3.txt are empty files. So now I know that they're empty. So what I don't want those empty files. I just want to get rid of them. I just wanted to just check that they were there or not. So I'm going to use the -delete flag at the end of this line. And guess what? If I go here, file/stuff, no more empty files. All right, so let's say I go here, and as you remember from one of the first lessons, all of these files have attributes. So I can use a command such as stats and look at pi.txt. You'll see here we have birth time, a change time, modify time, and access time. So the birth time is when the file was created. Change time and modify time are very similar. Change time refers to a change in the file's contents, in its permissions or ownership. Modify time only refers to modifications of the contents of the file. If, for example, you're looking here that this file has a same change in modify time. If I change the permissions using the change mode command, let's make it executable for whatever reason, pi.txt, and I look again at the stat, I'll see that the change time has changed, but the modified time has not changed. If I go ahead and open pi.txt and I don't know, I add an empty space, empty line there, run that again, you'll see that now the modified time has changed. So you kind of get the gist. And you'll see that the access time changed because I technically opened the file in order to do that. So why does this matter? Well, we'll find we have these commands such as ctime and atime and mtime, which will let us, you guessed it, look for the access time, modified time, and change time. In the same sense, we have the -newer, that search there, -newer command, which does the same thing, just in its slightly different syntax. And again, you can read all of these things here. So I will show you a simple example. Let's say I want to find, in my home directory, find files that are newer or older than 3 days. So +3. And if I open up my man page here real quick, go to ctime, you'll see it takes a parameter ctime, takes a parameter n, and it says file statuses was last changed less than, more than, or exactly n times 24 hours ago. So the way we define that is when you type your command, find dot dash name, or sorry, dash ctime, we can either write n, so files modified within the last 24 hours, or 24 hours ago, sorry, nothing. Or we can do files modified over 24 hours ago, so +1, and you'll see there's a bunch of files. Or files modified less than 24 hours ago. So you will see here the new files that have been created in this directory. In the same, you can do the same thing with atime, and et cetera, et cetera. Another functionality of find that you can use that's very useful. You can take your list of files that you found and you can execute commands on it. So if I have, for example, this change time +1, so files modified over a day ago, or actually let's make that less than a day ago. I can use another flag called -exec, and I can write a command here, just any Linux command here. So we'll use something that we've used before, the echo command. So we'll say echo, this file was changed less than a day ago. And we'll add a nice little colon, close this quotation mark, and then we'll have this open bracket, close bracket. What this refers to is the output that find will have for that line. So all of our file names. And then we have to end our command. And in order to do that, give a little space here. We need to use an escape character, which is our backslash, and a semicolon. A semicolon in bash refers to the end of a command. We simply have to escape it so that the find command doesn't think it's part of bash. It doesn't get confused. So we escape our semicolon here, hit enter, and you will see that now for every one of our files here, this file was changed less than a day ago. This current, and it indicates this current directory. Now, what if I only want the files? I don't want the directories. I can say -type, and I can say F for file. And guess what? We only get our files rather than the directories. This is now a more accurate representation of our output. Maybe we only want the directories that were changed. So we can say this directory was changed less than a day ago. And we'll say -type D for directory. Very simple. This current directory, the files directory, and file/stuff directory. As you can see, this is a very useful tool. I use it all of the time at work. I highly recommend that you get comfortable with it and that you learn how to find information that you need. Thanks for watching. See you next time.